I actually learned how to ride in California when I was 3 from a lady named Kathy. My pony's name was Gabby. I started barrel racing when I was 7 and we moved here to Utah. I told my dad the only way that I was going to move to Utah is if he bought me a Palomino barrel horse. When I very first started barrel racing, it was just me that was figuring it out, and then I met a lady named Stacy Glaus, and she became my coach, my mentor, my barrel racing partner. I mean, when you start winning, you realize you're actually pretty good at this. That very first award that you win that's big, and it's something you'll never forget, because something that you love doing and then you were great at it, I mean, you never forget those moments. So in high school, I competed in barrel racing, pole bending, goat tying, and breakaway roping. So with doing that many events, then I can be potentially up for the all-around. And that was always the coolest award that you can get, it because that not only means that you were competitive in one of your events, but in all of them. I don't know, I guess the highlight of my career throughout high school was winning a world all-around title at a finals in Colorado. You don't even imagine something like that happening, because it is an absolute dream come true to have your name be called next to a title like that. I remember everything the day of my accident. I was driving to Denver, Colorado for the stock show and had stopped in Rollins, Wyoming at a gas station. When I got back in my truck, I just hadn't put my seatbelt back on yet. And as I was going through Sinclair, Wyoming, I looked down to check my map, and when I looked up, I'd faded over a lane. And I grabbed my wheel to try to correct my truck. And in my head, I just thought, just don't roll. And in the end, that's exactly what ended up happening. Just as my truck started turning sideways on this freeway, I closed my eyes. I hit a fence post on the side of the road, going about 70 miles an hour, and it hit me across the stomach, which is what broke my back. In the time waiting for somebody else to come, I just was thinking through my life. I mean, when your legs aren't working, you can't feel anything down there, it really makes you think about, what am I gonna do with this? Or is this really permanent? A paramedic came in my room and he said, if you'd had your seatbelt on, you'd have your legs. I had not cried up to this point about my accident, because in my mind, I was lucky. I saw what my truck looked like. I knew what the condition I was in, but I thought if I had been in my truck, I wouldn't be alive. And that paramedic leaves the room, and I turned to my mom and I said, my one mistake has changed my entire life. And I said I could never walk again because of this. And I don't even know how to handle that. And I did break down and cry. And my mom said, you're gonna be okay. And she reached over and she touched my leg and I felt it. And that was the first miracle that I had after my accident.
People don't really understand the magnitude of her being able to race the way that she is. They think it's amazing that the girl in the wheelchair can ride, but the fact is, when she can't, she doesn't have the balance that she had. And sometimes something as simple as brushing her hair can make her fall over. Or if I step on the brake too hard in the truck, she hits the dashboard. There is that little balance without her legs. And so for her to be able to race as fast as she does and compete the way she does is really miraculous.
My family, we have this little quote that says, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. There are tons of talented athletes out there, but if you can work harder than those people that are talented, then you can outshine them in the end.